Hi guys, how you all doing? If you're seeing my face for the first time, my name is Fumi, and welcome to my channel. And to my returning subscribers, you guys rock. Thank you for the love, thank you for the support. Thank you guys for always tuning in. Yeah, this is my most requested video. I have been looking for the right time to sit down, look all glammed up, wear nice makeup and all of that. But see, I noticed that I just have to do this exam while it is still fresh in my head, so I don't mix anything up. And I also want to do this because I have never gotten the amount of messages that I got, and thanks to my video that went viral on Instagram, it gave me a lot of new following, and most of the questions that I've been asked has been for me, how did you pass the exam? And I hope I'm able to help you in this video. So if that is what you are here for, let's go right into it. So what is PMP? Basically just project management professional. And guys, I passed my exam in all three domains above target. No, I think for my process and people above target, but for my business management I had target. Anyways, the most important thing is that I passed, and for me I think I understand the whole process better. Let's go right into it. So PMP is the gold standard in project management certification, and it distinguishes you from other projects professional. And yeah, so that is just what PMP is all about. It's just basically project management and letting the recruiter knows that okay, you know what you're doing. And yeah, I think for me one of the main reasons why I took this exam was because I've been looking into transitioning into project management for a while, and all the roles that I've been seeing, they are all entry roles. And for me, the pay is small, one, and two, I I don't want to go into much detail why I went for the exam, but I just needed something more than the entry role. And if I'm looking into something more than the entry role, then I need to be able to show something to say that okay, I deserve to have an higher role, one executive role, and all of that. So that is where PMP comes in for me. And before you can take the exam, let's start with the requirements. I'm going to be checking my system to go through the requirements. So one, you have to check your eligibility. And the eligibility that I used was my bachelor's degree. And for those that don't know, I have my master's degree in human resource management. So I use my master's degree. And also you need 3 years experience leading and managing projects. So that was where for the experience where I had to put where I lead projects. So last year I've joined a couple of boot camp training where I had hands-on experience on project management. I joined a boot camp RQI. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if so many people know them, but I joined a boot camp, and one of the reasons why I joined RQI was because they were going to give me hands-on experience on what I needed to do, and they were going to give me references that I already do this and all of that. So I used them. Then I also said that I've also managed some other projects. See, managing project doesn't have to be big. Because when I was in Nigeria, I was an entrepreneur, I had a store, so I wrote all of that. And with the help of ChatGTP, I was able to construct and pull my words together on how, and that was how I was able to put my project management experience together. And bear in mind, before I started this certification, I already go deeper into project management. I've done trainings, I've joined boot camp, I've done internship, I've had the experience. So I already have a first-hand experience working as a project manager. So after the requirements and you complete the application, then you wait for it to be approved. I think for me, my approval took about a week for it to be approved. Then the moment they approved me, guys, see, I could not even wait to pay for the exam. So the exam cost me, I think, $500 or $550 for the exam. I paid for the exam January, and the next available date was, I think, February. But I knew I don't want to have my exams the following month because see, I'm a mom. I'm a mom of two. I was working, and I recently just got a job that I was also working on. So I know there was no how I was going to be ready for the exam February. So I went for March, and that gave me 2 months to prepare for the exam. And I took that much long time because I didn't really want to pressure myself one, and I know that I want to pass this exam in my first attempt. So I want to give it all it takes. So I gave myself time. And so in the space of January to March, I booked for my exam, I think few days to my birthday, and my exam was for March 11th. So it gave me about 2 months to prepare. And see, I didn't start preparing until towards the end of January. I know for some of us, we like working under pressure, but I didn't start preparing for the exam until that. And so I'm going to be sharing some of the resources that I use. See, basically, what you need to know about project management, how to pass the exam, what you need to do is you need to understand the mindset. So in the exam, they're not going to ask you what is basic charts. They're not going to ask you what is work breakdown structure. Nobody will ask you what is stakeholder engagement. No, they are all scenario based questions. So to pass that exams, you need to understand, you need to know the mindset, and some of the resources that help me know, understand the project management mindsets is that I paid for Andrew Howe. I paid for his course on Udemy. So I paid for the course, I paid for the yeah, simplified learning. I pay for the exam simulator, and I also pay for the mindset. So I went through, say, it's a whole lot. Honestly, it's a whole lot. And I know a lot of people say, oh, is the exam hard? I think I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, the exam is hard. But see, if I can do it and pass, then you can. Because I have a lot of things that is going on in my life at the moment. I've got 2 kids. I decided just start a new job and all of that. So if I could do all of that and start pass this exam, then I think you can. It's all about you believing in yourself. So back to what I was saying. So I paid for Andrew course, the Udemy course, where I pay for the mindset. It was like a bundle course, and I think that cost me $100 for the whole bundle. So that also has simulator where you can do the drag and drop, the mindsets, and the whole process. And guys, before I even go for that, I didn't even tell you guys how I passed my exam. So I passed my exam in all 3 domains: the process, the people, and the business management. But I had above target in the process and in the people. But for the business management, I had target. I know I didn't really do so well my business management because the questions are always tricky, and it was very difficult for me to eliminate because you always have to correct answers, but you just have to go for the one that it is the best. I'm going to link all the resources that I used in the description box. So I use Andrew Howe. I study the mindset like my life depend on it because they were all scenario based questions. No, what is nothing. They were so you need to understand how project management processes, how they work, how to think like a project manager. And see, if you're already working as a project manager, you need to forget how you guys do your own projects. So that is another reason why some people don't pass because PMI standards is different from the standards that you use in your workplace. So if you really want to pass the exam, you have to use the standard that PMI wants, and you need to understand the process. After Andrew, another one that I used was David Mclahan. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that name very well, but I went to his YouTube. He has a question where he was talking. He has some videos on 200 agile questions, and he also has. I also studied the 150 drag and drop questions for David Mclahan, and that was also some of the resources that I watched over and over. And in fact, at some point, I could I could recognize David Mclahan's voice in my head because I kept understanding the process, the mindset, the because my exam was like 70% agile and 30% hybrid and waterfall for the whole thing. Yeah, so I kept on doing all of that. Then when it was 2 weeks to my exam, guys, I paid for PMI study hall, and guys, see, I didn't even know about the PMI study hall until about 2 weeks to my exam. And I'm not even going to lie, I think that really, really helped me pass my exam. Because see, the PMI study hall is from PMI itself. The questions were tougher than the questions that I was practicing with Andrew and with David Mclahan. So when I first started PMI study or 2 weeks to my exams, guys, I was failing all the questions that I was practicing. I was failing. In fact, at some point I was crying, I was panicking, like, see, my exam is in 2 weeks. and I'm still failing all these questions. I'm not even like, see, it's not even that maybe I'm passing and I'm not passing so well. I was failing. I was having 60, 55 on the practice question. So I will review my questions. I will see what I did. And guys, see, I'm going to be honest with you. You need to practice the 180 questions before the day. It's a lot. It's tiring, but it's going to like prepare you for the exam. I answered 180, one of them 180 question 4 times from the PMI. 4 times. Like I did all the 180 questions, 4 hours, 4 times. And let me tell you how I do it. So I will wake up 2 a.m. because I'm going to work the next day. I'll wake up 2 a.m. and I will use 4 hours to answer the question because it's timed on the PMI study hall. Then I will use 4 hours. So once I wake up to sometimes 1:30, so before I drink water, settle down on my laptop, like by 2, I'm already on my system. Then I take the exam because that is the only time there's peace. Everybody is sleeping and I'm able to focus. That is sometimes you'll be tired, especially when you're getting to 120 question 135. Towards the end, you're tired because you're just reading scenario based questions and you just feel like your head is not taking everything again. But I kept practicing. Okay, the first time I practiced, I could not finish the 180 question because I was tired. I was tired. I think I stopped at 140. I just stopped. Like, I beg, I can't do this anymore. Plus, it was already late. I need to get ready for work. Then the second time that I practiced the question, I think I stopped at 160. Guys, at that point, I was tired. But towards the third time, fourth time, then I started finishing my question and those that I missed, I was practicing. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought the PMI question that I was studying that I was studying with the study hall was hard. But when I got to the exam hall, it was not all that hard. See, this is my own experience. I think for me, the question that I studied with PMI was harder than when I got to my exam hall. What I had was not as hard as what I studied with, and it helped me a lot. So because I had studied questions that were so hard and difficult, by the time I was having my exams, it felt easier, and I think that was what helped me. So imagine if I had not seen or heard about study all. And guys, see, it's going to be tiring. It's going to be frustrating. You will feel like, who sent me work? Why am I going through all these? But trust me, it's what is. And that being said, I use the study, PMI study all. I use David Mclahan, 150, 200 agile question and 150 drag and drop. I use the Andrew R mindset process, PMI Simplified 7th edition. I also read the ebook that was given to me by PMI itself. And yeah, that was it. That was all I did. And guys, I'm not going to say it another way. I read to the point that people were asking me what I was doing to lose weight. But in reality, I wasn't doing anything. I was just going through so much stress, so much stress, but I'm just so glad that it ended in praise. And guys, for the exam day, let me tell you what worked for me on the exam day. See, the exam night till the morning, I slept. I slept all through. I didn't wake up to revise because there is actually nothing to revise. It's not as if you want to go and revise one definition or you want to go and revise. There was nothing to revise because they're going to ask you scenario based questions. So I didn't revise. I didn't start reading because I didn't want to stress my brain when I know the brain is still going to be stressed for the next 4 hours. Guys, do you know what it means to sit down on a spot reading the same questions, different way? For 4 hours. It's a lot. So all through the night, I slept. I woke up. My exam was for 10 o'clock. I woke up as early as I can, said my prayers, had breakfast. That morning, I had bread and egg with tea. I ate. I was so relaxed. Then I didn't drive to my center. I took Uber. I sat behind. I took Uber and I didn't. In fact, when I was in the car, I didn't read anything. I just put AirPods in my hair, listening to music. Like, because see, I'm still going to face the real challenge. So I didn't want to start stressing my brain beforehand. I don't know if that was, I don't know. I'm not saying you should do that, but that was what worked for me. Because imagine starting to stress your brain now when you are still going to do that. So I didn't do all of that. Then when I get to my exam hall, I settled in and I went into my exam and I sat for my exam. And guys, one thing that also helped me was I say any questions that you don't know, don't waste too much time on them. Just strike it out. Two answers that you're sure that are wrong, strike them out. Leave the remaining two. Don't stay too long on it. Then go back because you will think the 4 hours is a lot of time, but in reality, it's not. It's not. I think for me, my time was not enough, even though I managed it so well. Some of the questions that I left for review, I was not able to go back to everything. I was not able to go back to everything. And do you know why I was still able to pass, even though I could not go back to everything? Because I didn't dwell so much on the questions that I don't know. So any question that I read one or twice and I'm not sure of the answer, I know I don't know this. So there is high probability that I will eventually missing this question. So imagine now wasting that time when I could have utilized the time on questions that I know and that I might have passed. So what I did was that any question that I don't know, that once I really want to times and I don't know the answer, I just leave it, go back and leave it. Then later review everything that. So those that I went back to review, I didn't know them, but I I think towards the end was about 25 minutes to the end of my whole exam. Then I went back to, I think I have about 30 questions that I have left to go back to review. Then I now went, but you know that all those times I have done the one that I know that there is high chances that I was going to pass. So that was what I did, and I passed the exam. And yeah, for me, that's just basically what I did. So if you want to pass the exam, I'm going to link all the resources that I use in the description box. And I applied. And lots of people ask me, did I join any course or did I? No, I didn't. I booked the exam myself. I paid myself. I saw that some people are doing training. I didn't do any training because the time that they will even want to have the classes will not be convenient for me. So I taught myself, sat down, read by myself. And I think for me, Andrew simplified PMI helped me with the whole process. There are 47 processes that you need to hold. The ICT holds, the inputs, the outputs, the technicality, like those things that you have to understand. I use Andrew how resources to understand all of those. And like I said, I've already had project management experience, so I already know those things. So it was much easier for me to pass my exams and do all of that. I think I'm able to I hope with these small questions and with this everything that I've said, I'm able to help you pass my exam. But if you have more questions, please just drop it for me in the description and I'm going to answer as much as I can. So that is how I passed my exam in my first time in all three domains. Okay, all right. If you find this video very helpful, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.